Welcome to a Monday morning show, episode 62 in this series. It's me, hi, Ken Napzok, sitting with you, looking ahead to my week and maybe some of the things that are in my life that I'm dealing with, and we share, we talk, and hopefully they connect with you. Here's where I'm at this week. Here's where I'm going forward with into my week. The idea of triggers. Now, I know this is a safe zone. We don't worry about triggers here, right? Triggers become a little a joke, mostly from older generations making fun of the younger generations, being like, I'm so triggered. Let's talk about all kinds of triggers. Triggers that arise when you're trying to form relationships. Triggers that arise when you're trying to mend relationships, family or otherwise. Triggers at jobs. Triggers when you're out in the public and someone does something to you. Or maybe the situation triggers something inside of you. I think that's where I am as I head to my week. My ongoing battle with my living situation is constantly in flux, and there's been times where I'm like, I'm 1 foot away from my car, and then there's like, I'm not leaving here, or this location, and who knows? And it's the least of the world's problems is where I live, but it's dominated my mind for the last year, and I am now 1 year away. 1 year has gone in which I have been alone. In which my 8-year relationship ended. 1 year ago this week was when it officially I was in this house alone. And that's crazy, really. It's crazy. So instead of looking back, I'm looking ahead. I'm looking to establish myself even more. And I'm in a period of healing still, but I've moved forward with dating relationships. I've moved forward with trying to get even closer with my folks as time rushes on, but trying to overcome some chasms between us. Chasms? I always mess up. I've heard canyon? Whatever. I am looking ahead to a new chapter in my life. 50 will do that, I guess. But any age, any year, any flipping of the calendar page is a chance to look forward. And as I struggle to maybe make some of the changes that I need or changes that I've been working on, as I struggle to make big decisions, as I struggle to build relationships and mend friendships and all those kind of things, there are little moments that I would call emotional triggers where I am triggered by it. The scars of the past come up, and that could be scary. That could be confusing. That could be challenging. That can cause you to maybe run away. That can cause you to become defensive if it's something within a relationship that's not even that person's doing. It's what the past has done to you. And there was this line that I received last week in therapy. It's a therapy podcast at this point. And I wrote it down, but then I ripped it up accidentally, so I found it. I dug through the trash. There, for the audio listeners, I'm holding a little Post-it note or a little card. And I found it. The old man digging through the trash found it. Triggers are the universe reflecting the areas in you that need to be healed. Simple, right? I think all the best therapy and counseling and support you get and advice you get are so simple that you want to punch it. Not the person delivering the advice, but you want to take the advice, you want to take the counseling, you want to take the words of wisdom, you just want to punch it in the face. Just punch it in the face because it's so simple and so stupid, and life is too complicated for that kind of stuff. And it is. Life is too complicated for that kind of stuff. But also, I really think it isn't. I really think the simple, most direct pieces of advice or therapy or counseling or words of wisdom are what you need to hear. Sometimes I think they're so true that we form up a lot of walls around it. We get triggered by it. This isn't a conversation about triggering that is, with offensive words and like that. This is the emotional triggers get set off, tripwires, if you will. And when this was told to me, as I'm struggling with my future as always, but just coming back from a great trip home. But always, anytime around your parents, even under the best circumstances, you're going to get some little triggers about your past, and you're trying to work through your past. And so I faced a lot of that this week. And those words were said to me. Triggers of the universe reflecting the areas that need to be healed. And I just wanted to discuss that advice. I just wanted to put it out there for anyone out there who needs to hear it as I try to internalize it and see how that applies to my life. How I can go forward this week and face some of the areas in my own life that need to be healed. And some of it is decision making. Change. I preach the power and importance of change. I've changed a lot as a person. I've changed my clothes. I mean, not for 6 years. I found a style I like, black over black with a beanie. I'm sticking with it. But I changed. Remember the first day I walked into Collider and I had Converse on. I will not name the person who laughed at me, but I was laughed at. And they weren't a beacon of style either, I'll tell you. But yeah, decision making. Doing something that's maybe right for my life, or doing something that's tough and not the best, but might have better long-term effects, or standing tall and steadfast and saying, no, where I am and who I am now is what I want to be. And that's the change I want to make, is believing in who I am and believing that the circumstance I'm in is the right one and that I don't have to cower away from it. That's also a change too. And that's where I'm at. I'm probably one of those people that can get paralyzed by decisions, paralysis by analysis. Not quite that. I've seen that in other folks. I've seen people battle decision fatigue. But when it comes to some of the big moments in my life, I always go with the energy of it. And I have mentioned this kind of stuff before, where there have been times where I was offered something in my old security job, offered a promotion, offered to switch a venue. And I sometimes feel, maybe it's a people pleaser thing. If you offer me an opportunity, hey, Ken, I heard you need a job. Yeah, I do need a job. I have got a great full-time job offer for you. You're going to drive a big rig at the dock, and you're going to drive across country. Yeah, I don't want that job. But if you're nice enough to offer it to me, I'll be like, well, okay, I guess I can learn to drive an 18-wheeler. I don't want to let this person down. It's a little people pleasing. So a lot of times when people offer me opportunities, I feel compelled to take them up or say yes to make them feel good. When really they don't even need that. They're just saying, hey, here's something to consider. And I have been okay in feeling, close my eyes, going with the spirit of it, going with the energy, going with the vibes, going with the gut and going, that one isn't for me. But it's torment every time. I wanted out of my security job so much. And yeah, I wanted to be full-time in entertainment, and that happened later on. But I remember I got an opportunity to interview for a city government job, to work in a city councilman's office. My uncle, who was in the city council person world, set it up for me. I didn't have the exact political experience and education they needed, but I had a lot of community kind of work as a director of security. You're kind of plugged into local city government and agencies, and so I had a good chance of getting the job. And that destroyed me. I was paralyzed in my soul for like 6 weeks. Then I didn't get the job. Life took away. Life went the way it needs to go. Sorry, I'm stumbling. So before me right now are some big decisions. My good buddy Jason once said to me when I was putting these decisions in front of him, like, hey, here's what I got going on. And what's the right decision? Door A or door B? And he said, both. Because no matter what you choose, you have the power to make it work for you. No matter what circumstance you find yourself in, no matter what situation you find yourself in, no matter what living situation you find yourself in, you will make it work. You can't lose. And that comforted me, but it also made it harder because I just wanted the answer to reveal. And that's a big trigger in me. And I've got to face it. It is an area that needs to be healed in me because it is an area of fear. It is an area of doubt. And if that's true, no matter where I go, I will make it work. That means I got to believe in myself. Man, do I hate the idea of believing in myself. Do I not know how to be really good at not believing in myself? I struggle with it all the time. I don't have a decision I have to make this coming week. But I do have to start taking a deep breath and saying, the decision that I make will be the decision that is right for me. And I need to work on that person behind the decision. The person behind the decision, me, is number one, capable of making the right one. Is capable of making a decision for himself and not for the benefit of others who are offering him the decisions or the choices or the paths. And that no matter where I go or what I'm in, that I have the self-confidence that I know how to handle it. Triggers are the universe reflecting the areas that need to be healed. Yeah. It's simple. It's direct. It's poetic. But it's true. As much as I want to punch it in the face, I can't. Because it's an area that I know needs to be worked on. And that is the truth. If I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling overwhelmed of all these decisions. If I'm looking forward at a situation that would very clearly put me on a different path than I am now, that is not something to shrink away from. That is not something to be afraid of. That might be where I need to be, or it might be where I need not be. But I'll be fine either way. And that's all I got this week. This week's A Monday Morning Show is simple and direct. And I hope you out there listening find those areas that need to be healed in you this week and at least acknowledge them. We all don't have to heal ourselves this week. Let's just acknowledge them. I think that's the first step. Before I get out of here, all the shows in my network on the month of May are sponsored by the film project, The Arbiters. There is a video, if you're watching on YouTube, link down below where you can learn more about the project. My friend Phil Svitek is behind it. He's been on my shows before. I should bring him on again. He's a life coach kind of guy, too, a 360. He calls himself like a 360 life coach, 360 degrees of your life, business, personally. He's very smart, very insightful, very thoughtful. And he made a decision to make a film. He's made a few. And he's got them done. Like miracles. Taking a film crew to Bogota to film a feature-length film, and he did it. It's out there. You can watch it. But he's got this great project, The Arbiters, that he's committed to, along with some great people already have been working on it for years. Including my old friend Sarah Stratton from the Box Office Breakdown days over on Popcorn Talk. Phil made the choice to commit to this, to do it, to make this project. And it's a great project I believe in. It's an animated, 2D animated film. You'll find more information and some shots down below. I'm going to share more of that this week. Please, if you can, for me and for Phil, just give it a check. Maybe consider supporting his Patreon page as they share the process of getting this film made, which is difficult these days, especially something that's so aspirational. It's a great concept. It's a high concept. But it, too, is simple and direct in its message, something the world needs to hear. So all these shows this month are sponsored by Phil Svitek's project, The Arbiters. Check it out. If you watch the YouTube video, leave a comment. Tell them the Blathering sent you. It would help a lot. All right, that's it. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Napzok, you get this video early, so you can watch it earlier in the week. Check out the interview with Pat Conkey. Check out the interview with June Lee, independent sports journalist, when that drops this week. And let's all meet back here next week, right? Let's work on that healing. I'll see you next time here on a Monday Morning Show.